Wondering what life is really like on Canada's wild and crazy West Coast? This podcast is all about the people, the places, and Vancouver Island time. Together, we'll explore this island paradise, a combination of ocean, city, and country living. We'll meet the fabulous locals such as the Fudge Fairy and the Chicken Lady, who have chosen Victoria and Vancouver Island as their home. And we'll learn what makes this place unique and special to those who live here. And now, your host of Vancouver Island Time, Jane Johnston.
Hi, everybody. It's Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun and host of Vancouver Island Time. And today I'm here with Denise Webb, and we're going to be talking about the Land's End area of North Saanich. So it's right near the airport and the ferry, very central to anybody who's moving from Vancouver. Often it's a satellite community. Or if you're an international traveler and want to live in a beautiful place and travel around the world, we do have an international airport. So first of all, how long have you been living in Land's End?
I moved into the house 12 years ago. My husband and I bought the house 14 years ago. But we rented it for a year, and then he lived here for a year while I still worked, and then moved down in July.
Where did you move from?
Prince George.
So I used to work with a lady from Prince George, and we used to have teleconferences. This was in 2000, and she was in Nechako. Does that sound?
Nechako subdivision. That's it. That's the one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we used to take video of the outside and we would look through. This is the first time before I worked in education technology, and we'd have video footage of, we'd look out the window of where she was, and it was covered with snow. So what was your first winter here? Do you remember?
Absolutely incredible. It was just such a change. Even in the fall, Art had been here for the year, so he drove me around that next year, and I just kept going, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Look at this. There's leaves, new leaves. It's February. Oh, look at these red whatever bushes. It was just, I think everybody kind of is in awe when they come down. A friend of mine has just arrived from Prince Rupert in this last year, and the videos she sends, she's like, I can't believe it. And that totally is the reason we moved here. Yeah.
So I came in the summer and I wasn't expecting it at all. And I remember in the winter sitting outside with some people I was going to school with at UVic, and they're like, it's like this in the winter. Like, it is like this.
Our neighbors here invited us to a coffee party or something at Christmas that year, and all my kids came, etc. And we went over in sweaters. And I'm thinking, I don't care whether it's just, like through the gate, but we only had to put a sweater on to walk over there. It was like, okay, this is not Christmas.
I know, exactly. There's no snow. So you do, it does snow around that time. Okay. So living in the area, what's the favorite thing you like about this area?
Well, I've had some life changes in the last little while. And one of the days I was walking back up the driveway from my walk that I do almost daily. And I went, I wouldn't be able to do this walk that is a power walk as well anywhere else unless I could do it here. So I considered moving out of the house at that time, and I went, no, I just love living here because of the accessibility for me to be out and in nature and do a great power walk up a hill.
And also there's nice trails around here, right?
Absolutely. Behind all these roads, behind all these big properties, there's a lot of green space, and there's a lot of trails, well-marked trails that you can spend hours in. And Horth Hill is just behind us, too. Yeah.
So what's the community like here? Do other people in the area walk around, too?
Yes. Actually, I have started a walking group. One day I was out. I was just out walking, and one of the other girls who was renting across the road didn't know her at all. She was actually from Switzerland. They'd only moved here about 4 or 5 months before. She was out walking her dog. And I was walking by myself that day. My friend was on a trip. And I said, if you want to, you could join us, and we'll do this regularly. Well, the group is now up to 7.
Oh, that's great. I did that with a group of women when I was pregnant with my daughter.
Yeah, it's just everybody wants to be out at the same time, get it over with early in the morning. We do the power walk. We feel like, okay, we're energized for the day. So, yeah.
Yeah, and what's cool about this whole community, like Vancouver Island in general, is they're very active, right?
Absolutely. It absolutely amazed me when I came to Victoria that there are trails, et cetera, behind every subdivision, whether you were in Cordova Bay or whether you're in the Highlands or something. We go travel to all these hiking areas, et cetera. There's so much available that's just out somebody's back door.
Do you ever get on the water? Because we can see the ferry go by right here.
Well, I should tell you the story of how we moved here. Art and I had been sailing for 20 years before that, and so we knew Sydney really well, and we knew the area around here by water. We had no idea, once we left Sydney to drive, how to get around. Like, we needed a map to find our way around, though we'd sailed around here for years. And we didn't consider just Sydney when we wanted to move. We actually had about 6 or 7 places that we were considering on the Lower Mainland, Ladner, Pitt Meadows, on the island, Comox, things like that. We'd gone through all that, and we set up a criteria list, and we visited all of those 7 places, and added to the criteria, we knew what our family needed, and so we did a 9 out of 10 score or a 5 out of 10 score for each one. Separately, he did his criteria list, numbered, I did mine, evaluation, and then we put the totals together. My total was Sydney. His total was Sydney, and we looked at each other and went,
it's a no-brainer.
Decision made. And so then that was in July of 13. We came down in July of 03. We came down in March of 04 and looked around, and it's a kind of a funny story how we found this place, but both of us fell in love with the location, being next to the water. My husband had a marine survey business, so he wanted to be close to boats. And we just knew that this was going to fit. We wanted it to be a retirement place, but a place that our family would come back to.
Yeah, it's on a hill in the trees overlooking the ocean, which are 3 of my criteria.
Criteria, hills and trees. Okay.
So what about, see, you seem you're at the end of the island here. So what do you do for food and all of that? Entertainment.
I'm just going to say, when you say the end of the island, there's a little thing that I tell people. So if you consider the back of your hand, Vancouver Island, and your thumb, show them that. Okay, we're up here like this. We're at the tip of the thumb. Right, and that's how I described the Ontario relatives and any of the visitors we had, because there was a B&B here, that's how far we have to come, and so the rest of the island is up there. What do we do for food? We use Sydney as our main place for shopping. There are no commercial outlets really in the North Saanich area. North Saanich is a separate district from Sydney. There is a new complex starting with a Canadian Tire that's opening in about 2 months, which is a huge impact on the community, both politically.
Is that West Saanich Road?
No, it's actually coming right off the ferry. When you come off the ferry and turn towards the light industrial area on the right-hand side. So, yeah, you'll see it. It's almost finished being built right now, big parking lot.
There is a gas station over there. I saw that.
Yes, the new co-op gas station, very conveniently located for us. Yeah. So we go into Sydney, but from my driveway to the Sydney Bevan or the Beacon Lights is 8 minutes. And that's not a very long commute at all. And so it's easy to find all the things you need in Sydney. Like if you need furniture, you might have to go a little further, but,
They have a beautiful market there, too.
Oh, the Thursday night market is well known, really well known. We have a Saturday market here in North Saanich, which is up at one of the local churches up on West Saanich Road. Handicrafts, home-baked items, and it's actually like you're back in the 40s.
We have one in Machosen.
Yeah, same idea. Yeah. Grandmas are selling their little hand knits and things like that. Yeah.
I find ours a bit expensive, actually.
Oh. Yeah, well, I know you can get little goodies and things like that. They're pretty inexpensive. Mm-hmm.
So what other highlights do you have for me about North Saanich?
Well, let's see. When you mentioned food, there's a couple of places that are really popular. Deep Cove Chalet is just down the road on West Saanich Road, Chalet Road. Kind of a 4 to 5 star restaurant is this reputation. French cuisine kind of melded with Pacific cuisine.
Fusion, we call that.
Fusion, that's it. And so that's an elegant place. People go there to celebrate like special events. The pub is just on the way to the ferry. It's very popular, and they serve all sorts of non-glutens as well, so you can have a great variety. There are not a lot of restaurants out here that are specific to North Saanich, but there's sure a lot of coffee shops, drop-in places. Melinda's Biscotti is well known. I don't know if you've ever tasted her biscotti. It's absolutely fabulous. It's in the light industrial area, but it's very popular. You can't even get a seat after 11. Let's see, Fickle Fig. Cute name, huh? On Wayne Road on the way close to the airport. It's an old nursery converted into an area for sitting and coffee, and the bakery is exquisite. Just super ideas. Let's see, coffee shops. The Sea Glass is on Harbour Road, closer to where the boats come in. So people who are coming in, maybe their temporary stay at one of the yacht clubs, and it's just a nice walk and a really nice restaurant for seafood.
Do you find, because there aren't any hotels except for in Sydney, do you find there's lots of B&Bs in this area?
Absolutely, lots of B&Bs. This house, I ran a B&B for 7 or 8 years. The month I closed, one opened across the road, so that was very convenient. I just gave her all the customer hints. And people love this area for a B&B because I've had people come off the ferry. Actually, one story was somebody came off the ferry and they got on the wrong ferry. They were supposed to get on the Vancouver to Salt Spring, and they ended up here. And so the sister phoned and said, could you meet them and keep them overnight? Really. So the convenience of being that close to the ferry.
Yeah, that speaks to the hospitality of the area too.
Absolutely, yeah. we love it.
So what else do you have on your list here? I see a list of things that you like.
A lot of places. Well, boating was what brought us here. And I looked up the other day, there's 7 marinas around this area. It's one of the most dense areas for marinas and availability for boats. Boat repair, that kind of thing, boat yards. And, of course, all the properties around there overlook the water. There's a lot of coastline around here. I think 3 sides of North Saanich is all coastline.
So one of my favorite holidays was actually boating around the islands. And we went to, so I always try and fit this in, but we went to Montague Harbor, and they had this guy who was selling cinnamon buns. So you'd order them the night before and pick them up the next morning.
Mm-hmm. And if you go back even years before that, they used to deliver them in the little rowboat.
Well, they didn't do that for me.
Yeah. We love the islands and the accessibility. We spend a lot of time on Pender Island. Our family has a kind of a favorite haunt to go back there. And literally, I'm 4 minutes to drive to the ferry to pick people up, or by the time you have to go around, because you've got a vehicle, you have to go a little further to access the ferry lineup. It's I think it's a 6 or 7 minute drive, and then we're off. And the closeness to the Gulf Islands is beautiful.
So one of the things people will ask me is, are the ferries loud, and what about the planes? Do you hear the planes?
We never hear a plane. Ever. Sometimes we hear a helicopter going over, but that's very rare. B&B guests used to ask me the same question. They said, how can you be 10 minutes from the airport and still not here? And we went, no, this is not under their, we're not under their route. Ferry, I do hear it, especially out in the garden. I hear the rumble. But it also is my inner clock. It tells me what time it is while I'm working out in the garden. And honestly, I love the ferry going by. They look quite serene and pretty going by on the outside when you're looking on the outside. Yeah.
Okay, top 3 things for visitors to do in Victoria, and being a former B&B owner, I'm sure you have some ideas.
Well, Butchart Gardens would be the main attraction. I mean, it's internationally known. We were just speaking of it this morning with my friends, and people go there over and over and over within the year. So if you're a guest to the area, you have to see it.
And they have concerts and fireworks at this time of year.
Yeah, and you can take your dog and go for a walk in that park. They don't say that it's restricted without dogs, so it's beautiful for people to access it.
Okay, and 2 other places?
The second thing I think I would recommend, because I'm a boater too, do the 3-stop ferry trip. you can go to Maine, Pender, and Galliano on one day, and it drives you around, and you can get off and come back home the same day.
Great idea. Okay, I'm doing it next. And the last thing.
Climb Mount Tolmie. Climb Mount Tolmie. You have a stupendous view, both north and east, and on the other side of the mountain, you just turn around and walk across the parking lot, you see south and west. And I think a lot of people don't realize what a spectacular view it is from up there. And it's easy to walk up or to drive your car.
Okay, well, you've had a really great introduction to North Saanich and Greater Victoria. And if you have any questions, you can contact me. I'm Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun and host of Vancouver Island Time. And if you're interested in being a guest on our show, please check us out. Go to vancouverislandtime.com, and at the bottom it says be a guest. We'd love to hear from you and love to see what other islanders have to say about Vancouver Island Time. Take care and see you soon. Bye.
Vancouver Island Time is brought to you by the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun, Victoria, where we bring local expertise and global presence to your property.
Hi, everybody. It's Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun and host of Vancouver Island Time. Today, I'm here with Denise Webb. Denise is a resident of North Saanich, and I know her because we're part of the same networking group, eWomen Network. And so I thought I'd ask her, because she's kind of in the nutrition health industry, about USANA and what it is. So what's the name of your company and what is it that you do exactly?
Well, my company that I've set up is called Invive Health. I spend most of my time consulting with people one-on-one. It's about wellness. It's about being physically fit as well as about eating properly and knowing what supplements you can take advantage of.
And by the way, doesn't she look fabulous?
Thank you. I was 66.6 this year. 6 is my lucky number. And I'm now 67.
You look great, honestly.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So what made you choose USANA? Because there's lots of MLM-type multi-level marketing groups. What made you choose USANA?
Well, I've been connected to USANA for 21 years, and I did not choose it. It kind of chose me, and I kind of walked in the door going backwards. A friend of mine had mentioned that she had heard some good information about health and supplements. Didn't say the name, health and supplements. And I thought, my mom really should be taking some good supplements. And that's why I kind of was listening more. I'd already had an interest in wellness. I participated in sports for years, and it always kind of maintained my nutrition focus, and even with my family. And I didn't allow them to do McDonald's and things like that. Sorry. But anyway, I kind of was focused on that. And so when I started to look more at the material that I was given, I thought, let's just see if the research is supporting this. And this is 21 years ago, and nobody at that time knew what a free radical was or knew really what the importance of what you eat can do for your health. So I had to do a lot of reading, but my confidence was built when I looked at it. And so I started taking the supplements, the basic multivitamin supplement. And I can't say that I jumped out of a chair faster or anything like that. It wasn't an immediate reaction. I just trusted and had confidence that I was nutrienting myself in the best way.
And also, I think it creates an awareness. So, like, I have a background in phys ed, and we had to take nutrition and all of that. And I think just being aware, okay, you know what? Have I had my milk? Have I had my protein? Have I had my carbs or whatever?
Absolutely. And I think the awareness amongst the general public has been polished for the last 10 or 15 years. It's just easy to read about. There's easy to find articles, and there's a lot of people who are well informed.
How long does a person stay as a client of USANA on average, do you find?
I've had some clients that have stayed with me for 20 years. They repeatedly receive their order of multis or with their choice, and it's a repetitive occurrence for them because they trust the product. They don't even have to go on the site and reorder. It's just known as an auto order and is shipped to them. They can ship it every 4 weeks, or they can ship it every 8 weeks. Most people do it every 4 weeks.
So does it taste good?
If you were eating a shake, they are delicious. And as I mentioned, you can mix it in your car, shake it up with a little whisk ball that's in it. And it's very little sugar, but it's still really tasty. And you've got fiber and good nutrients. Good lunch.
So, and do people use it for maintenance or weight loss, or both?
The food product, both. I use it regularly. I don't have a great concern, as somebody pointed out to me last night, but part of the reason I don't is that I eat a really nourishing breakfast, and part of it, usually 4 or 5 times a week, is a shake. Mm-hmm. Sure. And then people can also use it for weight loss. We have another line called our Smart line that has 0 sugar in it, and a good amount of fiber and a high amount of protein, 18 grams of protein, and so and good fat, and fat from coconut oil. So you're getting a really beneficial product.
Cool. And so how does somebody learn about this and get involved with you?
Yeah. I like to do them person to person, one-on-one. I have conversations with people. I've met some of the ladies through the E-Women. I've met ladies who are friends of friends. One of my girlfriends from grade 10, so we met when we were 15. We're the same age, obviously, and we're born 3 days apart. She actually texted me a month and a half ago and said, I am just so upset with my health. I'm getting high blood pressure medications. I'm getting ocular migraines. The doctor's giving me medications. They're making me cough. It's a horrible... I just want to do what you're doing. And so she became a customer. I mean, she had tried things about 10 years ago and didn't work for her at that time, but she was pretty consistent and she was motivated this time. I just want to have natural, good health.
Yeah, it's better to maintain health than to try and repair it. It's like if you're going to start from behind the 8 ball, it's hard to get around it.
Absolutely. Start today, not tomorrow. Start today. And I always used to tell myself, whether I was a runner at the time or whether I was exercising, is why did you go to all that effort yesterday and do all that if you're not going to continue it today? Just keep going, and a little bit every day. And it's those simple changes that you make, the simple change, and it's like a sailing course. If you adjust the sails a little tiny bit, you will be way off course over time. Or way on course on time. And it magnifies the longer you go. And so I always ask people, just consider simple change and start with that.
It's funny, I saw 3 boys smoking today outside a mall, and I'm like, nobody smokes anymore. And,
why?
Yeah, why are you smoking? Nobody smokes. Like for health-wise, they're, teenagers, why are you making that mistake in your life? And I think the same thing about eating properly. Like, you don't need to eat poorly. You have everything around you and all these, this opportunity here. Take advantage of it, right?
Absolutely. And one of the ladies that was speaking to me last night, she kept saying, and that sugar, that's the worst, and we shouldn't be eating it. And she's going on, and I'm finally saying to her, I agree. I totally agree with you. Just keep talking. Because I think people realize what they should be doing. One of the quotes I use is, why do we do what we do when we know what we know? We can make a change. Sometimes you need a commitment partner to make that work for you, but once you get on the start line and start moving, it'll help.
But first you have to acknowledge that you have a problem.
It's not even acknowledging the problem. It's committing to, you want to make a little change. Because sometimes people don't even have problems that are overt now. I would put me in that category. I just was looking at it as an insurance against my good health in the future, and nobody could tell me whether or not it was working because, as I said, I didn't feel more energized or anything, but I think over the years it's paid off for me. I did have a health concern. Both my parents passed away 7 years apart from aneurysms, And so I've been tested regularly to make sure, and so far I'm getting glowing reports.
And she has glowing skin, too. So I'm wondering if you can share with us some of your products and show us what they taste like and how you prepare them and all of that.
I'd love to. And one of the things I love about what I'm going to show you is just the convenience of it. So as I was mentioning a little bit earlier, we're going to make a shake. And this is the little pack. And it's called Nutrimeal. It has 15 grams of sugar, which is the equivalent of an apple. But it also has a lot of fiber, so it's like eating an apple, so it doesn't make your blood sugars go high quickly. And also fats and protein in this one. I think there's 16 grams of protein in this one. So here's what you do.
And the taste is French vanilla.
French vanilla, yeah, thank you. So I have a little blender bottle with a whisk. Can you see that? Yep. That goes in there. So basically, luckily I had cold water in the fridge. Can you see there? We got cold and all right. I travel on the airplane to Toronto.
Hold on, what's this show?
Okay. So there's the powder sitting in the over top of the water. I carry that little packet, dry packet, on the plane with me. I carry the mixer bottle. I ask the server on the plane for the cold water. I mix it. I'm on that 5:30 a.m. flight. I mix it, and that's my breakfast to get me across Canada. Wonderful idea. Convenient.
How long do you not feel hungry for? 5 hours?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe it's about an hour after you get on the plane, right? By the time they get the water to you. And you're in Toronto in 4.5 hours, so I'm fine. Yep. So.
Are you from Toronto?
No, but my 2 sons live there, and my husband was originally from Toronto. Mm-hmm. I spend a lot of time going back and forth on the plane. Okay, that should be done.
Okay.
Here we go. Have a taste. And I've made it quite liquidy for you.
I'm smelling it.
Okay.
My husband always smells everything. Oh, it's yummy.
Good. A little bit of sugar, but not too much. But enough taste, a vanilla taste, to kind of make it. And it's very smooth. No grit.
Yeah, nice. Good.
Glad you enjoy it.
Thank you.
To it.
Okay.
Keeps you going in your afternoon. Be at least 3 or 4 hours.
Okay, and then what else do we have here?
The other thing I thought I'd bring along is our health pack, which is a really convenient way to carry your multivitamins, a calcium tablet as well, and a special antioxidant booster. And an antioxidant booster takes care of those free radicals, takes care of inflammation, has resveratrol, which is the same as the good part of the red wine, and alpha-lipoic acid, and grapeseed extract.
Okay, so the dark ones, are these the same? These two?
Those, and the dosage from USANA is not 1 a day. Oh. You cannot get the equivalent of a multi in 1 tablet for your benefits for you. So there are 2 mineral tablets and 2 yellow antioxidant tablets. And that is your AM pack. And then you do the same thing in the PM. Okay, so breakfast and dinner. There you go. Mm-hmm. That's the convenient way to do breakfast and dinner and take it in a travel pack.
Oh, that's a great idea, because I always find, like when I travel, if I'm trying to stay on track, I have to organize everything. It just doesn't work.
No, and this is easy. I take it out of the box that it comes in, and usually it comes in a long string, and I just kind of wrap it around the exterior of the suitcase, and it doesn't take up any space.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah. And I should tell you that there are over 7,000 athletes, elite and Olympic athletes, that use the USANA products. And people, for example, the ladies in the Women's Tennis Association only use the USANA. That was one of the commitments that they made. Serena Williams' comeback and her prenatals, all USANA.
Fabulous. Okay, well, that's quite a testimonial. What else do you have here?
The drink, there we go, Our ulterior motive was we needed a healthy drink that would be an energy drink. Remember all those monster drinks and everything came out, and they were sugar and high caffeine and things like this. This one is a serving and a half. It's 100 calories for the serving. I think, again, under 15 grams of sugar for the serving. And it also has a lot of nutrients in it, like B vitamins, coenzyme Q10, rhodiola, which is really good for calming and de-stressing, the opposite of getting you up, right? So
It's called Rev
3. This was in the Montreal Canadiens dressing room the last time I heard the news from USANA athletes.
Okay, and it says it does have 120 milligrams of caffeine in it, but it looks like it's coming from green tea and white tea and
Right. Yeah, good.
and ginseng.
Yes, ginseng and rhodiola. Those are the adaptogens which help you to calm down again.
Okay, do you want to open it? I'll try it.
There you go. All right, you hold the glass.
If I start vibrating, you'll know why.
I save this as my afternoon treat after being and working in the garden. And I only drink half a day because it's plenty. There you go. Try that.
So I used to drink, actually I know somebody who would like this because I used to drink Diet Coke and I gave up all Coke products in December, which...
Good for you.
Yeah, which it was very hard because I used to drink a couple a day because I was going to bed too late and waking up too early for rowing and stuff. And I just decided, okay, I'm going to give it up. And actually now I don't even like it, which is nice.
Absolutely. It was about 10 years ago that I decided the same thing. Just give it up. Good for you.
That's very refreshing.
Mm-hmm. So pomegranate juice is the base. And as I said, all the vitamins and minerals that are in there too. Coenzyme Q10, important as well.
Okay, I'm going to introduce you to my friend.
Okay. Anybody in the rowing community, perfect.
Okay. Well, maybe you can come and talk to my rowing community and about
There you go.
nutrition.
I would love to. Yeah. That's what I love to do, is meet the people who are interested in making changes. Go for more. We'll get her on this. See, you're going to be your afternoon treat. There you go.
Okay. Well, cheers.
It was good to talk with you.
So if you're interested in knowing more about USANA and your business, which is
Invive Health.
How do we get in touch with you?
I have a website, which is Denise Webb 06, my lucky number, 06.usana.com. Or phone me, or just let me an email at denise@theweb.ca.
And it's 2 B's in webs.
denise@theweb.ca, 2 B's.
Okay. Denise@theweb.ca. And can they call you, or do you want...
Absolutely, you can call. Phone number here on public, 250-217-4676.
Okay, so you can give her a call, 250-217-4676.
See, I like sixes.
If you want more information about the North Saanich area, contact me. I'm Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun and host of Vancouver Island Time. And as you can see here, we're in beautiful North Saanich. So if you want more information, give me a call at 250-744-0775. We'd love to have you as a guest and find out more about your business and where you live. So please go to VancouverIslandTime.com and click on Be a Guest at the bottom of the page. Thank you so much for your help today.
Thank you, Jane. I really enjoyed it.
My pleasure. Okay, take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the neighborhood. We hope you have had some insight into West Coast living. If you know of someone or someplace that should be highlighted in our podcast, we'd love to hear from you. Please go to VancouverIslandTime.com and click on our Connect button. See you next week on Vancouver Island Time with Jane Johnston.